So this just arrived. This is my new Holder. This is a 3-cylinder diesel with a PTO, which is kind of one of the reasons I got it. But 1966. This was originally in Valencia in Spain, and it has been sat for about 5 years. The guy that had it had 2 tractors. One of them didn't work at all. This one ran, but they didn't need them anymore. They've got new machinery, and they just sat there. And the guy started them every now and then, but it's legal to be on the road and everything. It needs a few things doing to it, and it needs a clean up, but it works. And it looks good. There's a preheater button for the glow plugs. So this thing is pretty darn exciting. Like, it's articulated and it's just fun to drive. It's different, and I love how old it is. It's just like, you know, being brought back from the dead. It hasn't been used, and it runs so nice. It's fast as well if it wants to be. It's pretty cool. I've just been testing just testing everything on it. PTO works. Muffin decided to go for a little mudslide earlier. All the trees were being watered, so he came back covered in mud. So he's been rinsed off, and now he's just being just on the lead there so that he doesn't go and roll in more mud while he's drying off. Right, let's see if this battery seemed to be holding a little bit of charge when I was running the engine just now. So maybe I can get it to charge. That would be good. .8 volts. Let's have a go. See what happens. Maybe it's dead. Put new water in it. See what happens. See if it takes a charge. I'll leave it for a few hours and see what happens. Come and help me change the battery? Cool. So I've got a new battery because I was going to replace the fluid in the other one, but I noticed that there's a slight bulge in the battery, and I don't know enough about batteries to know whether that means it's safe or not. So I'm not going to take any risks, just in case, because I've had a battery blow off on me before and that was nasty. So I'm just gonna stick with what I know and just replace it. Plus this battery was so cheap, and it is the tiniest bit smaller, but judging by the manual it didn't need the size that was in it anyway, which is maybe why it depleted, because you know the alternators only rated for so many amps, and if you put a battery in that's higher ampage than the alternator can handle, you know the battery's not always going to be charging at the correct rate. I'm limited on tools at the moment because my tools are currently in a different country, and due to worldwide crises at the moment, I can't do much about that. So there we go. Right, let's see if this works. We have a light. Now, I learnt once that you should never stand in between wheels on tractors when you're starting it, and I'm sure I did that earlier when I first started it, but anyway, works perfectly. Let's get a bit of a throttle. That needs tightening up a little bit. There's a few things I'm going to do to this right now. In fact, I know that runs now, so I'm going to tighten those things up, and the next thing I'm going to do is look at the brake. So the pedals, this brake pedal, and also this clutch pedal, there's a lot of play in there, in that clutch pedal. Now ideally it should sit there, and then it should go and clutch at that point down to about here. But instead it's sitting there, and when you're sat on the tractor it's very difficult to get your foot below the foot plate to be able to put the clutch down. Also, when the tractor's turned, because it's articulated, the exhaust comes quite close to that. So this doesn't look like the original exhaust, or maybe it is, but it's been modified, because I don't think they would have designed it like that, because when this is on full lock on the left, this is right up here. So that's something I'm going to look at. I don't think that whole exhaust needs to be there. It could quite easily finish there with no issue. So I'm now going to adjust both of those. That wire looks a bit mangled down there. Marvin, what you doing? Now what do you reckon that it's the 16 that I haven't got? Or I don't know, it's the 17, which I have in spanner form, which is very handy. So this needs tightening a little bit, but obviously there's not enough room, clearance. Oh, there is. This is the cheapest toolkit that I could find. It's like a 50-piece toolkit. It has every other size missing. I've bought so many good toolkits, I don't want to buy another one. That's got to be better. There's not much play in that now. Looks like it could do with a little bit of loosening up. Well, that's got to be at least a little bit better. This is the best thing money can buy. That already feels a lot better. And it's not even on, you just tell. Okay, so brake's a lot better. I don't know if you saw, I tried to show you at the end there, and the back wheels actually lock up with not much pressure. The clutch is good. You could do with a little bit more, to be honest. The next thing is this handbrake. You know, there's a lot of play in that, and it's quite obvious it can be tightened. It's the same 17. That'll make things a little bit easier. Easier in one way, but harder in another. because now I'm trying to adjust the brakes with them on, but it is working. Right, so this handbrake should now do a little bit more than it did before. Everything is easier on the tractor. Wow. Okay. So now, it used to go up to notch 3, now it goes up to notch 1, and I can't push that very easily, but I could still go up another notch. No, I can't go up another notch, but that doesn't move. I could try. That's a problem. I knew that wire was bad.